Thank you for coming back to another episode of our WrestleMania special. In this episode, we're going to be reviewing WWF Attitude. WWF Attitude was the last WWF game released by Acclaim before the license was sold to THQ. Let's take a look. WWF Attitude should have been the best wrestling game on the N64. It was the follow-up to the hit WWF Warzone, and the cart was 256 meg instead of 96, which Warzone was. This meant that there was more room to pack action into the game. All the problems Warzone had could have been improved. Sadly, even as a kid, this game was a big disappointment to me. I've said it before, and so I'll say it again. My brother and I were huge WWF fans, and to this day I still love WWE. The problem is that when we love a game as much as we loved Warzone, you have expectations which could never be met. When we heard there was going to be a follow-up to WWF Warzone, we were looking forward to it like no other game I can remember. I mowed the lawn and did chores to save up as much money as possible because we knew that we needed this game the day it came out. Many months later, after seeing reviews and previews in magazines, the day finally came. This was going to be bigger, have more wrestlers, better graphics, more sound and intros, and so many more game modes, and everything they promised Acclaim delivered on. But there was a big problem. It just wasn't enough. The roster was now 30 wrestlers with an additional 10 to unlock, and all your favourite WWF superstars were in the game. The Creator Wrestler was back with more depth and customization options. You can even make a female wrestler now. For the first time ever, you could also create your own pay-per-view event and customize so many areas of the arena. But it wasn't enough. The graphical textures were greatly improved over Warzone, and this added more detail to the arenas, but most importantly to the wrestlers themselves, who now looked more photorealistic than ever before. They also had more frames of animation, making them smoother to play as. But this just wasn't enough. Jerry the King Lawler and Shane McMahon provided commentary this time around, and there was much more of it than was found in Warzone. The wrestlers also had more taunts and speech. There were also all the correct intro entrances and much better quality music than in Warzone. But this wasn't enough.
There's the tie-up. Man, he makes it look easy. They tangle. Oh yeah.
The 4-player mode had been smoothed out, and it now wasn't as slow as it was in Warzone. There were also more game modes to play, and you could tweak settings such as stipulations and tournaments to play with your friends. But this just wasn't enough. WWF Attitude is a great game. Whilst now the engine is very dated, at the time it was still a great N64 title. Just look at some of the scores it received in magazines online. The problem is that for new wrestling fans it was sublime, but for those of us who were long-term wrestling fans, we had seen it all before. WWF Attitude didn't have the wow factor that WWF Warzone did. After a few hours of playing the career mode and unlocking all the secret wrestlers, I was left with a feeling of, what's next? I hate to say it, but this simply was the most disappointing game for me. I worked so hard to get it, and with how much hype and coverage the game had got, it could never live up to my expectations. WWF Warzone is always a game that I look back to and think it left me disappointed like no other game before. So my question to you is this: has there ever been any games in your life which you have felt disappointed with, however they have gone on to get great reviews in magazines? Let me know in the comments below and hit that like button if you had childhood memories of playing WWF Attitude. Until next time.